The ability to understand and control your emotions, the ability to read other people's emotions is a powerful skill to develop. It is the difference between understanding, reacting, and responding, between conflict and, let's say, connections, and between struggling and thriving. Let's talk about emotional intelligence. Welcome to OTMkast. All right, people. Welcome back to OTMkast podcast, where we dive into anything and everything that shapes our lives, from sports to lifestyle, from fashion to careers and beyond. This is your one-stop destination for insightful conversations and engaging discussions. So on today's episode, we'll be talking about something powerful and something I consider very significant in today's world, which is also a game changer in both professional lives, personal lives, in everything that has to do with your emotions in life. Yeah, let's talk about emotional intelligence, or like some people call it, EQ. What if I told you that understanding and managing emotions can make you a better leader, a better friend, even a better partner too? It's exactly what we are here to unpack in today's episode. So, how can emotional intelligence transform the way you interact with the world? So, without further ado, let's dive in. What does emotional intelligence mean? Emotional intelligence is more than just being in touch with your feelings. It is the ability for you to, like I would hear, recognize, understand, manage, and influence not just your emotions, but the emotions of others and how they affect you and how you can get the best out of them. I've been fortunate to listen to a couple of people who talked about what emotional intelligence is. Also, the privilege to read some books. People like the psychologist Daniel Goleman spoke about it. I think he broke it down into five segments, but the my favorite book that I've read over emotional intelligence is this specific one about EQ applied. It says EQ applied. So it's like the practice to reality, how you can practicalize and live a life of emotional intelligence, and by Justin Bariso. So this is where I was able to get some of the topics and some of the things that we will be discussing today. And if you've read other people's books, if you listen to other people that you think would help the community, please share in the comment, and let's let people learn from what you have, the knowledge that you have. I'm just here, like I always say, I'm just here to coordinate. I'm just a host, but it's a community where we all have a voice. So let's dive in. Justin Bariso broke it down into four segments: the self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, also empathy, and relationship management. And he defined each of those four ways or four techniques that emotional intelligence is about. So he said self awareness is the ability for you to identify and understand your emotions and how they affect you. This is how it impacts your thoughts and your feelings. How those things, the way you were able to understand them, how they impact what your thought process is, what you feel inside of you, and what how you manage those things. And he also said self-management. That's the second one. He said using these emotions to drive you toward goals or provide a benefit. I believe we've talked about goals in previous episode where I also had a guest, Steven. And please, if you've not listened to it, listen to it. This is like the passion that pushes you into achieving your goals. And the third one, he said, social awareness, which can also be translated to empathy. It said understanding the feelings of others and how those people feel influence the behavior that either you or them. So let's say, for example, someone is angry, you're communicating with someone and they talking at the pitch of your voice. The ability for you to understand the tone at which they are using would help you to understand how to control it for yourself, and you to able to understand what they are processing. And the last but not least is the relationship management. And he said it's the ability to get the most out of your connections with others. And this can be translated to, or I like to translate it to, the ability to persuade other people rather than force them to do things that you want them to do. The power of persuasion, it's a very unique thing where if you can persuade people, leaders of yesterday, today, and tomorrow, the ability for them to persuade others to doing things rather than forcing them, not like the military that they give you command or order, is something that you have to develop, and it's a powerful skill that would help you in the long run. So think of EQ, emotional intelligence, as a trust manual where it helps you to respond rather than for you to react. It helps you to listen rather than assume things, and it also helps you to connect with people, your partner, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your friends, and rather for you to withdraw from them. The ability for you to understand what your partner is going through, what your friends are going through when they're talking, and for you to also manage your emotions would be a best approach for you to get the best out of you and out of them. So why does emotional intelligence matter? Let's talk one or two things about it. Having a high IQ isn't just about feeling good. It's not only about you feeling good about yourself. It has the real life benefits, and there are topics, books, and there are studies that have shown that emotional intelligence is a better predictor of success than IQ. For example, in relationship, EQ helps you communicate, resolve conflicts, and build stronger connections. Imagine you're having a disagreement with your partner. Hmm. It allows you to, for a moment, pause, understand their feelings, and respond calmly rather than reacting in frustration. So let me see how I can break this down. You're talking with your partner, the ability for you to pause and understand what they're going through when they're talking. Are they irritated? Are they frustrated? Are they angry? The ability for you to understand those emotions would work best in your behavior, whereby you pause, you relax, and you know how to respond to them calmly rather than you yourself being frustrated. Also, in the workplace, high EQ leaders create positive work environment, handling stress well, and inspire teams. This is where I think the difference between a leader and a boss come into place. Leaders are people whereby they have a plan in place, but their statement goes thus: let's go and do it. But for bosses, they will tell you, go and do this, go and do that. Leaders of today act like boss, but they call themselves leader. The ability for one person to understand, are you a leader or are you a boss? If I tell you, go and do this, go and do that, that makes you a boss. But if I tell you, let's go and do this is the plan that I have in place, what do you think? Bring your suggestions, and we apply it, we go do it together. That is a leader. And for mental health, managing emotions, it reduces stress, anxiety, and burnout. The ability for you to recognize your emotional triggers helps you set boundaries and protect your well-being. How many times have you heard people say, I'm tired, I'm stressed, and I'm just going through a burnout phase? Mentally, they're tired, mentally, they're exhausted. Let me give you an example. So I was talking to some of my choir members the other day, and some of them come in late, and they'll be like, I came late because other people come late. As much as that is not really a good sign, it shows you lack one of the four emotional intelligence that we spoke about. People think coming late to something because all they do is a good thing. It is not a good thing. It is not a good thing at all. It means you guys don't respect the authority in place. I mean, I'm a religious person, so I take anything that has to do with Christianity very well. The ability for you to show respect to the leaders in that unit is what tells them who you are. If you're coming late for choir rehearsals just because other people are coming late, it means you don't have respect for others and you don't have respect for yourself. We can come up with so many reasons, but we all know choir rehearsal starts at a certain time. Church service starts at a certain time. Your work, when you go to your work, you don't go late to your work and tell your manager or your supervisor, I'm coming late because he or she came late as well. You'll be fired. You will be fired because that is not a genuine reason for you to be late. So how do we improve our emotional intelligence? Practice self-awareness. Start by checking in with yourself. Ask yourself this question: what am I feeling right now? What does my feeling say about me right now? Why do I feel this way? And the ability for you to be mindful of that, it helps. So you have to practice self-awareness. You have to understand what it is that your emotion is telling you. You have to understand what it is that you're feeling at that moment. Are you feeling frustrated? Are you feeling sad? Are you feeling happy? Those things, once you understand them, you'll be able to develop your self-awareness, self-regulations. When your emotions run high, take a deep breath. Practice the 4-4-4 step, whereby you breathe in 4 seconds, you hold it for 4 seconds, and then you breathe out for 4 seconds. It helps your heart also to go back into reading, because if your emotions are high, you're probably angry, and anything you say at that time can, or like the police will say, can or will be used against you in the court of law. But in this case, will be used against you with the person you're talking to, with your partner, with your friend, with your boss, with your colleague. It will be used against you. So practice self-regulations. Understand when your emotions are high and pause before you react to them. Choose a response that aligns with your value. Don't just respond for responding sake. I used to tell some of my friends, and I say, listen to understand, don't listen to respond. Majority are, when you're having a conversation to them, they're just quiet. They are not listening. They are just quiet because they are waiting for you to stop, and then they pick up from it. Whereby the important information that you passing across when talking to them, they are not processing it. They're just waiting for you to end the conversation. And what did they do? They just respond to it. To build empathy, active listening is key. Like I said, instead of thinking about what you would say next, focus on truly understanding the other person's perspective. There are several perspectives about things. There used to be this drawing whereby for you you could see six, and for me I'll be seeing nine. It doesn't mean your perspective is wrong. It doesn't mean my perspective is wrong. It only means that you're saying what is right from where you see it. I'm seeing what is right from where I see it. The ability for you now to understand your perspective and other people's perspective is how you build empathy. So that way you're not criticizing someone else's perspective, but the fact that you've understand them, it helps you to understand where they're coming from, what they're saying, how they're saying it, and where they're going. Enhance your social skills. Work on clear and respectful communication. Pay attention to body language and tone. This is very important. If someone is talking on a high tone, there's a reason. If they're talking on a low tone, there's a reason. If their emotions are high, you can easily tell they're angry. If you speak low, you can tell maybe they're sad or they're just calm. The difference between a reserved homebody and someone who is an outgoing introvert and extrovert. And last but not least, use emotions for motivation. Set goals that align with your values and use your emotions as fuel. Are you feeling frustrated? Channel that energy into productivity. The ability for you to channel those frustration into working positively is what makes you productive. Yes, you'll be tired. Yes, you'll be frustrated. But the ability for you to control it, the ability for you to use that frustration to motivate yourself into becoming better would go a long way. It would definitely go a long way. And last but not least, emotional intelligence is like a muscle. The more you work on it, the more you become better at it. Is it possible for everyone to have all at once? No. Is it possible for you to possess all this emotional intelligence? No. Nobody was born with it. But the ability for you to develop it is what makes you a better person, a better friend, a better leader, a better partner. Just like if you go to the gym, the more you go to the gym, the more you lift weights, the more you run on treadmills, the more you do tracks, heavy lifting, the more you build those muscles and you get in tone. If you don't, you don't. The ability for you to work on it, the ability for you to develop it is what makes you better. I hope we've able to communicate or discuss one or two things today. And like I always say, this is a community. If there are some things you see or you agree with, there are some things you heard today that you disagree with, leave it in the comments. Let's discuss it. I will be in the comment looking out for your comments and see to learn from you. It's a safe space. Let's learn from each other. Before we wrap up today, I hope some of you that received the merchandise, the t-shirts, I hope you like them. And for some of you that did not receive, trust me, there are more coming. It's like I said in my previous short period, it's just a first one would definitely not be the last. The next one could be a cash prizes. And please, if you've not, subscribe, like, comment, and let's share our thoughts together. If there's something you know about emotional intelligence, let's share it with each other. This is your favorite podcast, OTMkast. Please like, subscribe, and till we talk again next time, have a wonderful day or evening, wherever you're listening from. Thank you.